he felt rejected, that I just wasn't attracted to him anymore. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with you.
Your relationship is like the easiest thing to take for granted early on and after kids. It's just like everything else is a priority. We'll like reconnect in like a decade and a half. When they're 15, we'll like hook up again. It'll be nice.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's me, Stefanie Maegan, your host of Broke Therapy, and guess the fuck what? Rose was not on this episode, but she will be on the next episode. She just couldn't make it for this recording. On this week's episode, we have the amazing Tarah and EJ Kerwin on the show. They're a married couple, and they're both licensed therapists and the co-founders of Relationship Renovation Counseling Center. They also host the top 1% ranked podcast, Relationship Renovation. What I love about their story is that even as therapists, they found themselves on the brink of divorce, but they did the work, healed, and came out stronger. Now they use everything they've learned to help other couples navigate the ups and downs of relationships and marriage. I learned a lot from this episode because in the next few years, I plan to get married and have kids. So I feel like before I enter that stage in life, it's good to have these conversations and ask questions. I hope you guys enjoy this episode after the break. Broke therapy. Okay, so this is huge because I feel like that's like where I'm going, and I also feel like a lot of people in my that listen to the show are also like newer moms too. Like, so I think that that's like
we had no idea, like literally,
yeah.
I mean, now it's like 11 years later, we've helped thousands of couples, and it feels so good. But
okay,
it was like a blessing in disguise. I thought we were
just the fundamental shift that happens once you have kids. And
we had
how you can try to prepare.
The transition of
part of it's just like accepting that things are forever changed.
Oh, okay. Let's start. Where should we even begin? Okay,
so
maybe you could give us a little bit of background, because so I know that you guys, we were just talking off air, have twins, and then you had stepkids from a previous marriage.
We're a blended family. When we got together, we were friends. We were working at an eating disorder facility together. We were both therapists. Mm-hmm. And she was going to take me out after I got divorced and help me hook up with somebody. I was going to
be his wing sister. Because I'd never seen EJ like that ever.
And we hooked up instead.
Wow. How did that happen?
He just kissed me freaking outside of the Surly Wench. And I was like, what?
I mean, we were good friends. We laughed and goofed off before that.
Yes, he was so opposite of anybody I've ever dated. And I never dated anybody with kids. And I just had never... he was going through a really bad divorce. And so, I was going to like find him like a rebound because he was getting on Match.com. And I was like, EJ, don't do that.
Yeah, on Match.com
is like so old school. Oh my God.
And then you guys started hooking up, and then you got married. And then now.
Literally.
The joke is Tarah went from 0 to 4 kids in 18 months.
In a year and a half, I did.
Wow.
Because we started dating. I tried to break up with him. I did all the things, but I knew he was the one. And I was pretty late. I was like 37. And I had like been a serial monogamous, like always a great picker, but always like leaving. I'm like, I'm not quite ready. And
so you would get in long-term relationships, and then you would end up breaking up
always.
Wow.
Yes. Grass is greener somewhere, somehow, didn't know.
To another guy.
So I tried to do the same thing with EJ. Like after 3 months of dating, I'm like, I'm going to go back to California.
Or she said, no, one of the things was we were dating, and she's like, I'm going to go with this guy to Japan.
Oh, yeah.
For a couple weeks. And I was like, well, then we're not really dating then if you're going to Japan with some other dude.
He wasn't willing to have an open relationship. Like I wasn't ready to commit because he was just going through that divorce.
But I'd also been through hell and back, so I think I was aloof. So I was like, if you want to be with somebody else, that's cool. But like,
we'll be friends, but I can't stay with you. And I was like, fine, like leave, see you later, love you. And I literally woke up the next day, and I like in my body, this has never happened. And I still remember the feeling. I was like, I don't want to do life without EJ. Aww. And it was done. I have had great men in my life, but I had that feeling, and I called him. I'm like, fuck. It's happening. This is it. And we have been inseparable since.
And how long have you guys been together?
Gosh, 15 years.
Wow.
Married in 2013.
29-13. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congrats.
And
That's a big milestone.
Yes, we went on our honeymoon, and then I came home and we were pregnant with not 1 but 2.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And my boys were like 2 and 4 or something when we first got together.
So they were 4 and 6 when the twins were born. Yeah.
Wow. And you said your twins are one boy, one girl.
Yeah.
That is like my dream. I actually want to get like.
It's like a blessing for sure.
Yeah, like I just want because I want 2 kids max, one boy, one girl, and just like pop them out and then just be done at once. You know?
It was I mean, we are so blessed and so grateful, but I will tell you this. So 0 to 4 kids.
Yeah.
I figured EJ just knew what he was doing. Like, even though he hadn't had twins, I'm like, he's got this.
Yeah, like he's
These
a dad
twins
already.
had colic, both of them, not one. Colic is, they cry, scream for 13 to 18 hours a day. I would nurse every hour. I thought I was being punished for everything bad I'd ever done in my whole life.
Oh my God.
And it took 9 months for their colic to go away. Like they say 9 weeks, 12 weeks, 9 months. And so that's what destroyed our relationship. I was like, I'm out of here. I am leaving you. What the hell did I did not sign up for this. It was a nightmare. So
like we had like this amazing first portion of our relationship. And then once we got really not pregnant, but like once she had the babies, that's when it just got like, I took over all her cases. So I was working. She was having sometimes my boys and the twins.
Yeah.
And the ex wasn't like, would just be like, you
Not
know,
helpful.
not helpful. And so it was just like
just all like reality
stress.
happened
Yeah.
very quickly. And I mean, that was the start of like healing ourselves and like healing so many couples now around the world. But like I wanted to leave, but I'm a therapist.
Yeah, because you're like,
so
I can't just give up.
So I was like, well, I have to learn from this too. So let me just do the work.
Yeah.
But most people aren't therapists. So I remember I was so compelled, like the twins were like 9 months old and they were screaming, of course. And I remember I was crying and I was like out on a jog with the double stroller and I called EJ and I said, like if we're having this hard of a time, like we have to help other people in our community because I had no idea, EJ.
Yeah.
And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like couples, we have to figure this out and then we have to help other people. And he was like, no, like I hate working with couples, Tara. Like eating disorders are my jam.
Yeah, I was going to
Couples
say,
are
like,
hard.
I could imagine couples being hard because it's not only one person you have to
Yeah.
deal with, it's 2 people and then like them as a collective.
But it has, I mean, I've been a marriage counselor for 22 years. I knew when I was 5 years old, it's what I wanted to do.
Really?
And I didn't know it was a marriage counselor at 5, but I
Yeah.
would cry when I would see another married couple or a couple together, not even married, not talking. Like I would just start crying and my grandma would be like, I'm like, I can feel their sadness. And so my first family and couple session, I was like 22 years old. And I was like, now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know so
You're
much
like,
more now. What did I do to them?
Like,
My heart was in the right place. I might not have had the skills I needed at 22, but but yeah, and that's how that all started because it was really hard. And I'm glad that we
added another layer of craziness, which was starting our own business, like couples counseling practice.
I was going to say, like, starting a business as a couple is terrifying, even like to add on the fact that you're parents, you know?
We are like risk takers. I mean, that's one thing. And Tara's also like, she always has like amazing ideas and it gets very excited. And like my job has always been like try to figure out how to make it happen. And that was her idea. It was like, let's help couples. And then.
Well, it's not even like, to me, I thought, because I wanted to leave so many times. I got in that minivan we had to buy. Yeah. And I have a twin sister and she lives in Kentucky. I'm like, I'm out of here. I don't know. See you later. And then like an hour later, I'm like, oh God, they need to be like breastfed and I got to pull over. Yeah. And then I got to get back to EJ. Like I can't drive to Kentucky right now.
Right.
I'm just like a total wreck. But I kept thinking like, I'm going to break up our family without even trying because this is so hard. And I didn't know, like, again, for me, I'm a therapist because just a ton of early childhood trauma for myself. And like little did I know, not only was it stressful, but like my nervous system and all this old trauma getting triggered, which I thought I had like dealt with all my stuff. I'm like, oh, what? No, this is you, honey, not me.
Yeah.
No, it was the start of my biggest growth. But again, like so many people decide to leave because it feels so uncomfortable. And we were just compelled to stay. I think because I knew I loved him, even though I was super resentful. Like, how dare you do this to me?
Yeah. Because sometimes you can really hate your partner. Like just the other day, like
Seething.
Ryan pissed me off because I was like something upset with like work.
Yeah.
And he, instead of just like listening to me, just gave me unsolicited advice. that I was just like, I didn't want to hear because I was like, what an awful advice. Like he's literally, I think I even called Nina and I was like, oh God, like he's so awful. This was awful advice. It's pissing me off. I was like, I can't stand him. And then something happened with work where it was like, Steph, you should have done this. And it was exactly what Brian told me. And I was like, this fucker was right.
But it's not what you needed in the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So then
like
it was,
that's a big lesson with guys especially is like, sometimes all you have to do is literally like repeat what your partner said back to them. You don't have to solve the problem, but literally just say, oh, I hear that you're really fucking pissed and that you think that I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yes, you finally get it. You know,
you're like, good, like husband hack.
Husband
Husband hack.
Men
Just
have
repeat
a
it
hard
back.
time. Men have a
very
deeply hard time because you ask somebody to do that and they're like, well, she said that one time when I did that thing that she was feeling. I'm like, no, that's not what she said. She said she thinks you're an asshole. Like, just just say that back. That's all you got to do, man.
We just need to be validated. You know, and in that moment in particular, I just needed to be validated. I just needed someone on my side instead of being like, "Well, you should have done this." Like, ew, fucker, don't judge me.
Solving. That's like the hardest part. No, I'm
just like, please. I was like, let me just like have this moment. So
yeah.
Well, going back to like, you know, the whole transition into like motherhood and stuff, like. So me and Brian, we've been together for 5 years. I mean, I've sent him my ring size. I've sent him the link, sent him the carrot, you know, how many carrots I want, you know what I mean? Like lab cut, of course. And then, you know, so it's like, it's happening. I have to start getting my nails done because I'm like, it's around the corner somewhere here, you know? And not that I even like necessarily am like, always been like a marriage type of girly. Like I feel like I always knew maybe one day I would be, but it wasn't this thing that I like fantasized about. Yeah. But I always fantasized about being a mom. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know, and for him, he wants to have marriage first before just like knocking me up. Cause I'm just like, dude, just like,
he's more traditional.
Just get me pregnant. Like we'll figure it out. Yeah. And he's just like, no, I want to do things the right way. Yeah. And so he, you know, wants to get married and then we could have kids. So we had that compromise. That was like a whole thing. I think that we were just like, maybe it was a little bit of a conflict, was just like, not that we didn't want the same things, but the timing was just kind of like off. So I had to compromise, be like, all right, fine, we'll get married first. Here's the link, you know? Yeah. And and then
you're already doing the skills, girl. Compromising before you're even
we're getting there. We're getting there, yeah. And so, but I'm like, you know, motherhood is something that I really, 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 really want to be. Like I've always wanted to be a mom. Yeah. And so, and I just like love moms. I like gravitate towards moms. So as soon as someone's like, I'm a mom, I'm like, oh my God, you're my best friend. Like, I don't know what it is. There's something in me that like loves moms. Yeah. And, but now I've seen myself just getting this like anxiety and of like, okay, yeah, I'm excited, but I'm like, oh my God, who's going to like be here when I give birth? Like, what's like, how, like, what if my baby doesn't latch on to like my boob, you know, or what if
like it's getting real, it's not just an idea anymore.
Yep. And you know, it's so I've been having conversations with my mom and his mom, like, are you gonna be here when I give birth? Because they don't live in you know, in LA. And so I'm like, are you guys going to come? Are you going to be here when I give birth? Like, who's going to take care of my kid? Yep. You know? And so I'm like, I have to do this. So now I'm just getting really like anxious. And I'm also just like nervous of what that dynamic is going to look like with me and Brian. Like, I know that like we are a great couple and we are healthy, but we also like have conflict, as, you know, every couple does.
Like when you become a parent, you become two completely different people. Like it's a role. You've never been that before. Yes. He's never been that before. And then it's like, okay, well, how do these two new people like relate to each other? And then there's a lot of stuff like with us and early on of like expectations of like what, like I had a kid. So she thought I was just going to be like this like pro. Totally. And if there wasn't going to be any problems.
He wasn't.
I totally wasn't. I totally wasn't.
Yeah. But I love that. So like for us, because we loved each other and we got along and we had so much fun, we didn't think of like a stressful transition. Like I could like up until I gave birth, I was like, I can't wait to meet my babies. And we were still having a ball like sexually and everything. Like we were having so much fun. And then like
we brought them home from the hospital.
but we hadn't talked about what's it going to be like. And we just thought like we were just in this dream world. Like we're just going to want to be together all of the time and it's going to be so much love. It was not that way because, again, whatever the circumstances were for their colic and stuff that happened in the hospital and like
So can you describe what colic is exactly?
Yeah, yes, because
that's what's kind of funny is they don't totally know. It's like a set of symptoms, which is basically your baby will not stop crying. Like it's
very
it
difficult to self-soothe.
Does not cry, and they don't know. Is it like a stomach issue? Is it like gas? Like what?
And
is
so
it?
like, well, for me, so again, like, so they, oh my God, they were only 5 pounds a piece when I brought them home. So like, and I had very bad postpartum, which I didn't get diagnosed either for 8 months. So I would like want to carry them in laundry baskets because I was afraid I was going to drop them. Like I had very unrealistic fears, but that's part of postpartum, which nobody told me either. So colic postpartum, no one prepped me for that. The colic piece, right, that we brought the twins home after like 3 days and they're like, you were exposed to something very bad in the hospital by one of the nurses. So you all have to come in here.
They had to put the kids on like these antibiotics, which maybe like might have screwed up their like.
Because they were.
What's it called? When you have probiotics, like, you know, the good bacteria in your stomach, like it might have
their little tummies were bloated for months. Like even at 6 months old, they were only like 13 pounds. Wow. So I just kept nursing and nursing like every hour, 24 hours a day, at least 6 months. So I didn't sleep for 5 days. And then I kept thinking, oh, the colic is from, I'm dairy. Okay, no dairy. Oh, it's from gluten. I mean, I cut out dairy, gluten. I cut out chocolate. Wow. I was like, girl, I just sat on that sofa and I was a milker.
Wow.
With water. just water and like freaking barley. I didn't know what I could eat. Yeah. So we actually got like all the, like, I mean, again, grateful they were healthy, but I didn't think they were. I thought something bad was going to happen to them. I was constantly like, oh, this is my fault.
When it amped up your already pre-existing anxiety.
Not one pediatrician was like, go ahead and supplement a little. So I just kept breastfeeding. I wish people would have been more like, you can supplement. And I kept thinking if I'm supplement, I'm a horrible mom. Like, because in my mind, I would get judged. Yeah. And so, and then I would, the pediatrician's like, no, they're having their 13, 14 diapers. What a day. You're doing great. Just keep nursing. But again, just like sleep deprived, and we didn't know any of it. And so now, like, we have all these resources. We have a ton of new parents at our practice or online, and we say, read this book, right? The Baby Bomb by Dr. Stan Tatkin. It's incredible. Make sure you prioritize your relationship. EJ and I didn't have a date for a year after our twins were born. Like, that was the worst thing we could have done. Yeah. But I didn't want anyone else having to take care of these colicky twins. That was like, that's like punishment. I mean, they'll never come back in our life.
It's like a balance, though, because we always say, like, do all this preparation and have systems. But at the same time, it's like, also just accept that, like, things are going to get flipped upside down. Like, that's a big part of it also, is just recognizing that, like, it's going to be different. And our story is our story. I mean, there's some people who have really wonderful stories, and it's really smooth, and it's less stressful.
Really chill babies. I'm like, what's that like?
Yeah. I mean, it does have.
I'm not jealous at all.
You're like, I had the opposite of chill. Are they chill now?
They're amazing. No, I mean, no.
No.
They're I mean, they are dynamic. They are social.
They're like their mom. They have a lot of spirit.
We have sleepovers every weekend at our house because we are that house and they are those kids.
Oh my God. I loved having friends with houses like that.
That is our house.
Yeah.
We are just like.
You always have all the good snacks, huh?
Everything.
Oh my God.
We are that. We have
Trip to Circle K at like 11 p.m.
We have a whole house of love letters. Like, dear Miss Tarah, can we have a sleepover this weekend? You're like our parents. And then
my God. Do kids still like make dances and perform for their kids for sleepovers?
All the time.
Okay, because I can't wait for that, because I used to do that.
It's so exciting. We wait for the show.
Well, the girls want to do it, and the boys get like drug into the room.
Yeah.
Well, now they're in 6th grade, so we actually caught them freaking doing, what was it?
Spin the bottle for.
Oh my God!
They weren't kissing.
He's like, well, we were gonna hold hands, Mom. I said, hold up, we have to be careful now, because now
I'm the cop. I like come through.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Daddy.
There's a little bit more caution to be had because they're starting to like you know,
Yeah,
think
they're
about
like
each
get
other
interested.
differently. And
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait,
that's
that's like scary. Like I feel like we need to have a separate discussion of that. Like once I'm at
yeah.
that stage in my life, it's just like, how do you handle when hormones like start coming?
Your
Oh,
daughter's sticking her tongue out on TikTok videos and like.
I was like, you can't do that.
Because I
That's so
traumatized
bad.
my mom for like my preteen years, and
Yeah.
I think all of my teen years,
Yeah.
probably my 20s. But
Mhm.
like she always says, like, "Oh my God, the preteen years are awful," and I'm like, calm down.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was the only girl. Okay, I had 2 brothers. I'm the middle child, so I feel like I didn't have anyone on my side. You know,
That's
so
Mia too. She's got 3 brothers, and there she is. So when
Yeah.
she turns 11, Stephanie, you just call me
okay.
because it is insane, but
Yeah.
in a good way. Like we're very close, but yeah, she cries over like if her curl didn't get right in her
Tara's
hair.
always like, how many days of makeup is she allowed to do during the school week?
2 days.
2 days
Okay.
of makeup.
Like you do not need concealer.
No,
5
you
days.
can't. You can't pull your shorts up that high.
You
and tie your
cannot.
belt.
But the new trend
Wow.
is like putting your T-shirt up, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
But I want her to
concealer
have her
thing gets
autonomy.
me.
But I also know there's freaking creepers in the world that
Yeah.
look at girls in a different way, and I'm like, that's not okay.
Because
either.
teenagers, there's like no such thing as like a preteen phase. It's like they go from being a child
Yeah.
to be dressing like a
Big time.
woman nowadays. There's no limited to.
Sexualization, like
Yeah.
And
super
managing all of
early,
that, it was
super
so
early.
different for us. You know, my first cell phone I was 19, like just going
Wow.
into college.
Yeah.
Like our cell phones
You're
are
like,
out.
finally, yeah. Got my own landline.
I know. I was just
Yeah.
telling EJ, like, God, honey, remember, like, we used to
You had to,
pass
like,
by
call
these
and, like,
video
talk to
stores
their
and people are
parents.
renting VHS,
Yeah.
like from Blockbuster. I'm like, look at how
Ah.
things have changed.
Yeah.
Because I saw,
Okay, old lady.
No,
I
I
saw
love the
a father-
blockbuster. Like that was just like the
Yeah.
serotonin, dopamine. I always get those confused. Whatever. Like there was such a
Yeah.
good hit of like
yeah.
of that like feeling. But yeah, so like what advice do you have for me as like someone who is gonna like enter that phase of my life within the next couple of years?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I am really worried about postpartum. Like I'm worried of like, am I gonna have a chill baby or not? Like what the
Yeah.
fuck do I do?
Yeah.
And how do I balance doing this and working?
Right. Because I thought I was going to go back to work in 6 weeks. That did not happen. It was a year later. And that,
I mean, if there's anything I know about like having kids, it's that they face you with like your own powerlessness in a lot of situations very early, and that
Yeah.
you sort of have to have like an openness to that, to like, because you don't know. Yeah, are you gonna have a mellow baby? You're not gonna have a mellow baby.
Yeah.
You know, are you gonna have postpartum? You're not gonna have postpartum. Like those things you don't entirely control. And the more you try to control the situation, oftentimes the more you suffer.
or Googling everything and like getting it. Yeah. Like that.
Yeah.
Like the judgment piece, if I had any advice, is to have your supports, like no matter what that looks like, whether it's your mom, even though she's out of town, like that you can call her if you're feeling like overwhelmed. So the supports are huge. I didn't have supports. Like EJ was my only support, and he took over my entire caseload. So he worked until 9:00 every night.
Wow.
His parents didn't live in town. I had one friend who would come over, and she would help me do like the boys' homework while I was nursing. Like it was just so
yeah.
setting up all the support systems, no matter if they're easy or hard, you need your supports. And like not judging yourself, like, oh, here was the biggest thing I learned that I've always taken care of myself since I was 8 years old. Like I started working to get food for my twin and I, like very self-sufficient, very independent. So I'm having twins. Of course, Tara can handle it. She's super mom. She's superhero. She can do everything because I just have always done that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like dying inside, dying with these 2 babies, but everyone else is like, oh, you're so amazing. Like you're such a superhuman. I'm like, okay. And I couldn't ask for help because I felt like that was what
The pressure
was
of
expected
that.
of me.
Yeah.
And then I just remember like at a freaking family barbecue, like there's all these people around like having drinks, socializing, and I've got the babies and I've got to go bathe them and I've got to give them dinner. And not one person is like, can I help you? And so I screamed, I'm like, can't somebody say that I need help? And I like lost it. I'm
Wow.
afraid of anger, right? This is where all the other trauma stuff comes in, but I didn't know how to ask for help until that freaking breakdown happened. And then that's when I learned, like, if I try to hold this all together, I'm going to die, literally. Like, my nervous system is already dead. And so but I never knew how to ask for help because my whole life I've always supported myself. And it was the first time that I needed help. And I just assumed that people would see me.
And just be like, okay,
And
yeah.
they didn't, because I was so good at, like, everything's so great. No, I haven't slept in 5 days, but look at these babies.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Well,
so
yeah.
good at not being vulnerable.
And it vacillated sort of between like I don't need anything, I don't need anything, and then
it was
somebody
all or
just
nothing.
fucking pay attention. And that happened with us too, of like,
Yeah.
I'm okay, to this sucks, I hate this, I hate our life, like I need
Victim,
out.
powerlessness.
It would swing back and
Trapped.
forth, which was confusing for me because I was like, half of the time you were like happy and like, this is a blessing and I love these kids, and then like, I hate you, I hate them.
Yeah.
These little monsters. Like,
yeah. Like, what was that like for you, like, to be able to, like, you know, because it's probably confusing on your end, right? Because it's like you're not dealing with necessarily
it was,
like
destabilizing. It was
Yeah.
it was scary, and then but it also like fit into my own avoidant sort of like
perfect.
personality of like that when she was happy and everything was great, it was like, oh, we're happy, we have a great life. And then when it was like when she would get to a cracking point, then it would be like really overwhelming, and I would sort of be present but also be shut down of like just like, and she used to say, you look like a deer in the headlights. And I was like, yeah, I feel like there's this flood of emotion coming towards me and hopelessness and unhappiness, and I don't know
what to do with it.
it. Like,
but he would take it as his fault. Like, oh, this is my, like, I put her
I
in
mean,
this
when somebody's like
situation.
saying like, fucking suck, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
You tend to take that personally, you know. It's like,
wait, let me circle back though.
Yeah.
No, please,
But
call
like,
me an asshole.
you had to never see me overwhelmed and angry towards you or stressed out in that way. And you did not have the ability to support my overwhelm. And that's the biggest thing. Like, and so then that's when our communication got really, really dysfunctional.
Yeah.
So like, how do I support her and not be reactive? Because she's overwhelmed, she's exhausted, but he kept getting reactive instead of like, hey baby, I see that this is really hard for you right now. Like, I know that you didn't mean to just call me a motherfucker. Like, it's all good. But no, and I would be like so mad, like, can't you see I'm dying? Like, can't you just be the one person that will hold, like,
Just
be
hold
emotionally
me.
safe?
Yeah.
And I kept saying, you're not safe. And it was never a physical thing, but it was an emotional thing. And he couldn't.
Well, that's something we see with couples like all the
like
time.
our
Is
biggest
that like
work we do.
is people saying oftentimes the one partner telling the other like, I don't feel safe, and the other partner being like, what are you even talking about? And even like I said, that's one of the things I think couples have always loved working with us, is because we're therapists, but we also know like we did not just instinctively figure this out. Like it was really hard. It took tons of work. Us doing our own personal therapy, us talking exhaustively to each other about these dynamics, because it's super hard. It's hard when you're under a ton of stress to like act in your best self space. And when Tarah, like now, like when she has those moments, I'm much more able to get into my best self space. I still feel myself battling. Like there's a part of me that just wants to be like, shut off and judge her. Cause that was a lot of what my deer in the headlights was, actually me back here going like,
crazy,
you are fucking crazy. Like what is going on? You are insane. Like, or like you're mean.
Yeah.
Like that was a big thing. Like, how can you be so mean?
Wow.
And so it didn't look like vulnerability to me. It looked like
she's being
like
really
she's
mean to me.
really mean. Like,
yeah,
this is not okay.
And I was being mean because he wasn't like supporting me and protecting me for whatever it was I was feeling, but I didn't know how to process it because I'd never experienced anger before like that, or rage.
I feel like even though it's like I don't know what it's like to be a mom just yet, but I feel like I relate to that even with like my relationship is I'm not someone who is like gets angry like I honestly never really get angry, and if I do it's a big deal. But there's been times where I've had arguments with Brian, and you know, maybe I do have a little bit of an attitude, or I you know, maybe said something that was kind of mean, and he just like reacts like instantly. Like I don't know if you're into astrology, but he's a Cancer, so he's very sensitive. So, and you're probably not into astrology because you're a therapist, but he gets really sensitive, and he just reacts. And then like I feel like in those moments is when we like no one feels heard. So he's like, well, you're giving me an attitude, like how am I supposed to like know you're whatever? And I'm like, well, because I'm giving you an attitude because you're being mean, whatever it is.
That's like one of the things that like is kind of the key tenets in the work we do with couples, is that like
I'm a Gemini, by the way, and I am crazy.
Your partner is the one person who you think is never going to do the things that hurt you the most, but they end up at some point doing it.
Yeah.
Because like we bring out, you could say, our worst in each other, but also we just bring out each other's area of growth. They're like my defensiveness, my lack of emotional presence in important moments. That's my biggest work. Like that's shit from my childhood that I picked up. And Tarah's, struggle to express herself effectively in emotional moments is stuff that she picked up, and they just like clash. And that's what every couple has that. And so you either look at it of like, well, this is irreconcilable and this means we're not supposed to be together, or you look at it as like, oh, actually this is the best thing. Yeah. Because you can actually help me get over my shit. And actually I can finally heal those wounds, and I can actually be the human I want to be. Wow. I just got to kind of like go through a lot of like very intense
but it took two therapists to stay in it. Like I'm telling you, it could have just been one. I would have left, but I was like, I take this as an adventure, an emotional adventure. What can I learn? Yeah. What can I learn from this, EJ? Because I knew that moment of like, I don't want to do life without EJ. I knew it was still there, even though I couldn't look at him and like, why are you? You are not the like little Buddha I thought you were, buddy. Yeah. Okay.
You're not so zen anymore.
No,
yeah.
I once called him a Buddhist motherfucker. I'm like, I know that's so bad. I was like, you are not who you thought you were. But I will say this because I reflect on all of this. Yeah. And like our kids, like when they were really little, they're super sensitive. They're like little empaths like me. Yeah. And they would see us fighting and arguing or silent treatment. They once saw me throw a popcorn bowl, like not the best moments, okay? And JoJo, who's super sensitive, he would get so scared and he'd try to caretake us. And I remember as a young girl, right, I would caretake my twin because she was way more reactive than me. And I knew what that did to me as a little kid. So now I'm like, Joe, I can see it. I'm like, you don't have to, baby, we're going to be okay. Yeah. And Daddy and I, we always work through this. And now we get to show them, like, even when couples come in, right, because 80% of couples come in when it's like, it's this or we're done. Yeah. It's like, hey, even if you go through this and you decide you're not supposed to be together, at least you're going to have clarity and work on it in healthy ways to have compassion for one another and show your kids that if you have kids. Like our kids know now when we fight, because we'll continue to fight. We are very, very different. But they know that Joe doesn't have to come in like, are you guys going to get divorced? Yeah. Like, you guys go be kids. We got this. Like having that modeling is so huge versus couples who just give up and they're hateful. And then the kids are split in the middle of it and it's awful. So like the more we can, whether a couple's supposed to be together or not, because there are many couples that are, at least you can build compassion to understand why you got to that place and at least role model like, hey, we're trying to be our best selves in this shitty situation. Yeah.
Sure.
And we're going to get through this whether we stay together or not. And that's what when couples come in, they're like, how will we know this will work?
Yeah. I think that's the biggest question. It's like, when do you know when to like leave? Like if something is just done,
I mean, that's a big question we get a lot. I think it's like if there's one person in it who's not working, who's just like straight up, this is just who I am. You just got to accept it. That's tough, man, because we change and we go through difficult things, and they're, from our careers to kids to family shit. Like if one person is just like straight up, I don't want to do the work, that's hard. That's hard to deal with.
But we find that it's rare. Like once you can like build trust and some rapport with a couple, and I think people like hearing our story, I've had many ugly cries on our podcast. I mean, it's like they know we're not imperfect. I mean, we are imperfect and we don't preach from whatever your love looks like. We just want to help you be vulnerable and know that like dealing and managing with transitions is a skill. You are not inherently broken. We didn't have the skills, and I had all the freaking tools on the tool belt.
Yeah.
There was nothing that would have prepared me, not all the yoga and breathing and chocolate in the world that would have prepared me for the environment that happened when those twins were born.
Yeah.
I think like back to your like question like at the beginning, like what do you say to you guys thinking about having kids and getting married and all of that? Like I would say like just if you guys can have the agreement of like we're going to work on ourselves. Like we're always going to work on ourselves, and it's going to be hard and it's going to be totally unpredictable. But like if we can both look at each other and be like both of us will do our work.
Yeah.
You know, we'll try to be our best selves for each other. We'll try to support each other in that. I think that's the baseline, you know, because I think that's always something we've like always come back to is like I think I've always known no matter what happened, Tarah is trying to deal with all of her stuff and she's trying to work through it. And I think that she feels the same way about me.
So much easier to be like, it's all you.
Yeah. It's so much easier to be like, you're the problem.
The only power we have. The only power I have is like, I can't get Tarah to do the things that she's done that have made her a better person. She can't do that for me. But if we could always depend upon that from each other. Yeah. You know, I think that's huge.
Yeah. No, I like that because I think, it's all about just like choosing each other and choosing the relationship.
Yeah.
Is I think like seems like is the core of it.
And it's the skills, literally stuff. It is the skills you learn. It wasn't about like being this amazing, calm, cool, fun person who's not going to be a cool parent. And like, it was like there are skills that we don't learn, whether it's around intimacy. I mean, our intimacy was severely impacted. We had no idea how to talk about it. I just felt ashamed that I didn't want it anymore.
Oh wow!
I was like, I don't want to. Don't look at me. Like, but we didn't know how to talk about like. So now that we have the skills and we in the closet, I mean, you name it. Now that we have the skills, like now we can be like, okay, like now I get to choose. Do I want to use this skill or not? But at least we have them. But so many people don't recognize it's skills based. Like just, you know, we're not supposed to be like, oh, you're suffering and I'm a cause of your suffering. Tell me more. Right. We're supposed to defend ourselves. Like it wasn't me. You did it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We had some tools that we created for our practice that we refined through working on it in our own relationship that were like total game changers. Like
code word was first one.
No, but the big one I'm thinking of
we need
is
a
like
code word.
We have this one about it's basically called the relational cognitive restructuring. And it's basically like when you have a giant fight, how do you walk away and figure out what the hell is actually going on in your own brain and find out a way to communicate it to your partner. And there was like one fight we had in particular over like I wanted to take the dogs to get
in our new car
to PetSmart in the new car, and she lost her shit. And I was like, it was one of those moments where I was like, you're insane. Like this is like you are truly insane. And then hers was like, you are an idiot. And
Don't you know me and my
but we
OCD?
used this like rubric to go through and like get to the place where she was actually able to say like, you know, like it just seems like I feel like unseen. Like Underearth was like, you're not seeing me. You're not seeing what is important to me and what makes me feel safe. And all I could see was like, I can't put a dog in a car. And it was just, and we did that over and over with each other of getting down to like me feeling all the time like no matter what I do, it's wrong. Like I feel like I am just a fuck up in this relationship, and that's a horrible thing to feel every single day of our life for the past 6 years, you know. But it gave us the opportunity to say those things in really like hearable ways, not in ways of like you're this and you need to stop doing that, but instead like turning it around and just opening our hearts up to each other and being like, I feel like really you don't love me, you know, and that's a hard thing to face over and over and over.
Like how do you guys have that conversation? Because I feel like what happens when we argue like that, because we start doing the thing of like, well, I'm not feeling like I'm heard and I'm always messing up, and we both kind of do that in a way. And like sometimes it's like there's been some fights where I'm like, okay, let me not try to be emotional, be consciously here and just try to like be logical for a second, you know? So I'm trying to like, okay, I hear you. I'm listening. However, this, and that. And then he's just like, I just tell you. So it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I feel like what you have to do is you have to do a little bit of stepping away from each other.
Yeah.
Figuring some stuff out and then coming back and saying it and having the other person just be like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and listen. And also if you can take the trigger. So there's the thing that Brian did that gave you the emotional reaction, right? And
most of the time, we could do this when we interview you. We
let's talk about it. Yeah.
This
and most of the time what you do is you focus on like that thing you did, you need to stop doing that. Yeah. Let me tell you all the reasons you need to stop that. And what you instead go to is like, when you did that thing, then I thought this, I felt this, I did this, it reminds me of this. And then you take it away from his trigger. And because really what it reminds me of when I was like 21 and this happened in my life. And it reminds me when I was 15 and this happened in my life. And actually it really reminds me of like what I remember is when I was 9. And then all of a sudden he's not seeing it as it's his fault. He's seeing that you're just opening up and being like, I've always felt like I'm not enough. That moment made me feel like I don't matter and I'm not enough.
Yeah.
And I felt that way since I was a little girl.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he can be empathetic and he can be like, oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way.
Right.
That absolutely was not my intention. I never want you to feel like you're not enough. You're amazing. You're so enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like a pathway from the trigger. We stay stuck in the trigger.
And you can't
in the one thing you did.
Yeah.
And how effed it was.
And I'm just saying, like, we have to wait a few sessions and to even do that, like, tool with couples.
Yeah.
Because we're so automatic thoughts, feelings, behaviors. Like and it takes some understanding of, like, your growing up and how you were coping then and what your little beliefs are that you're learning about the world. And then you can do it, because sometimes if you try to do that too quickly, it's like, I don't have any negative core beliefs. And it's like it's a process that you get there. But what I will say is this: whether you're 9 or 29 or 59, your nervous system isn't like, that feeling happened when you were 9 versus 39.
Right.
It just knows the feeling, so it goes into the story, and the stories of suffering, and then whoever is that external thing. You're causing it.
Yeah.
Well, and now what I can do is we've talked about it enough where like when I see that thing that before I would take it so personal, that anger, I'm able to like, I can recall through our conversations and her opening up like, oh, this is her deepest suffering right now. This is really sad. It doesn't look like sad, but it's really sad. Like, and I can handle this. Fucking
now he can handle it.
Call me an asshole. It's like I get it. You're calling a lot of other people because people have been horrible. People have done really horrible things. Yeah. And I'm sorry that you ever had to experience that. And I'm sorry that I make you feel that way.
Yeah. You know? I think like, in the beginning of our relationship, there was a lot of just like that trigger, right? Like I feel like our like younger selves would come out in those moments where I'm like, I see 5-year-old Brian throwing a tantrum, and then he sees teenage Steph like being very emotional and, like all those things. But I will say like, I feel like in the last few times that we've fought has been really, productive in a way because
you're adulting.
I know.
Yay. I love that feeling.
I know. So I was glad that you said what you said with all of that, because I feel like that's exactly what we're doing. And I didn't even realize like that was the way to, I guess, argue or like, come together. But it was, what happens is like we get really emotional. I feel like our inner child's coming out. We're screaming or crying or whatever it is. And then I'm the one that always like needs a moment. I'm like, I need to go cry in a closet. So I'm the one that like will go into this room and just like start crying or whatever I need to do. And he gets a little like annoyed by that, but I need to tell him like, I just need like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's the code word. There's a whole agreement to it. Like,
so I think we need a code word for sure.
So, and it's got, I love code word. We have like a whole podcast in code word, but I'll never forget. EJ came home. It's like 8:00 at night, and I like look at him. I still remember. I've got these babies.
Yeah.
I'm like, Nick, you're monsters. But I remember I was like, okay, I know I love him, but I hate him, but I love him.
Right.
And I was like, EJ, burnt toast. That is our code word.
Oh,
Because, right? How many times did I go back? You'll know when you have kids.
Yeah.
You go back to the toaster because you forget about the toast and then you want it to be a little warm. And by the time I'm there and there's cold coffee in the microwave, burnt toast. I said, EJ, when I say burnt toast, that means I'm bad. I'm not going to be good for you. Nothing good out of my mouth is going to come out. I'm not going to be good for our dogs, for the kids, like you name it. Because I'd be like, take that dog out to the field and leave it. Like I was crazy.
You're just like,
sleep deprivation is insanity.
Wow.
And so I said, EJ, burnt toast. That just means like I've got
Stop.
to take care of
We're
me.
not going to hurt each other.
I'm either going to go read an Us magazine. I'm going to go watch Bravo. I'm going to go listen to Tara Brach because I love her.
Yeah.
She's like the person that if I just ever need to like calm my nervous system, Tara Brach's meditations for me, the RAIN technique, we teach it a lot in our center. It's like, I come back to me and then 10, 15, it saved our relationship. It was code word, literally.
Wow.
Like, so EJ knew like, I'm accountable for my stuff. And it's not, but here's where couples get it wrong. They'll be like, you need to use your code word. Like you can't weaponize it.
Yeah.
I'm using this way to shut the other person
I'm
out.
using it because I'm not going to be my best self and nothing good is happening. And so it tells the other person like, wow, they are really trying to like take care of their shit as much as they can before coming back.
Yeah.
So code word is like huge to like even like in the beginning of couples therapy, it's like you guys stop re-traumatizing. We get it. We get the dynamics. Infidelity has happened. You name it, what has happened. Like, can we just start with code word just so you don't re-traumatize while we unpack all of this? And they usually agree. You know, but there's subtleties like how long, well, they're going to leave and they're not going to come back.
Yeah.
No, okay, you agree upon like, hey,
the argument.
we're going to give it an hour.
Because I only need like 5 minutes to self-regulate.
As
and then
long
I'm
as
like,
it's agreed upon, so then Brian knows, right? And it feels good for both of you. And maybe it's like 20 minutes this time and maybe it's only 5 next time. But you agree that you'll come back because so many couples leave and they don't come back and then they brush it under the rug and they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So when you are doing your timeout, you have something that you're going to do. So you know that you can come back and be like, here's what happened. So you guys get better at knowing each other. You become experts in each other, right? That's the whole goal, as much as one can.
I love that. I think that's definitely what we need to do because I feel like, like we'll always have those moments like, okay, I need 5 minutes to regulate. And then once I am calmer, we do have that conversation. He actually calms down too because it's like we're having that space.
Yeah.
And then we come together and we do like, I just try to like at least just sit there in silence and just let him like speak or I'll, or vice versa. And I just like try to have those moments where we just like allow each other to just like ramble and the other person just has to like just listen.
You guys are already doing so many like healthy things.
Oh, okay, good. We're good.
We're good. Seriously.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, I need therapy. Like we need a couple. Like we need to go to like therapy because it just feels like in the moment, just feels like, oh my God, so scary.
It's certainly sometimes good to have somebody who can kind of guide you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so much of what we do is like just guide people, just tweak it. Like, hey, can you?
Just a little.
Because sometimes you can even like tell one member of a couple like, hey, you know what? Actually, don't talk right now. Like, actually, just listen.
You're so good at that.
Really,
just listen.
Yeah,
just listen.
just like, no, don't say that.
Heart with ears. Michael Singer calls it Heart with Ears. He wrote The Untethered Soul. I don't know if you guys have read that book.
I've heard of it.
Crazy what he does at the end. He actually brings like some religious stuff into it at the very end that I would never have thought, but it's so beautiful. He calls it Heart with Ears. Like Heart with Ears. And so when people are like just heart with ears, it's so safe, it feels like. But when you're like already getting your comeback, you're not heart with
winners
ears.
And losers, man. That's the worst is like in relationship when you think somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose.
Yeah,
that never
who's right,
out.
who's wrong. But sometimes it's just like you guys could both be right or both be wrong. Because I feel like sometimes we're in the conversation and I'm like, am I crazy? Because I'm not seeing what he's saying right now, and he's not like getting me right now because sometimes he's like, you're gaslighting me, and I'm like, am I a narcissist? Am I a gaslighter? But I'm like, no, I'm not gaslighting because sometimes
those are some of my least favorite pop
terms.
Psychology.
Yeah,
gaslighting is like
it's just overly used.
Oh my gosh!
And I think he doesn't know how to use it properly. No offense to him, because I'm like, I'm not
Oh my
gaslighting because I
gosh.
think sometimes what happens is like, so I do have moments where I am really emotional and I just like, I can't speak how I
Yeah.
feel and I just automatically cry.
Yeah.
Or I have moments where I'm like I'm like the opposite where I'm like very matter of fact and I'm trying to be very observant and logical.
Yeah.
And I think when he's very emotional, he like doesn't like that, you know? Because I'm just like,
Yeah.
what do you mean? You said this last time though. You're
Yeah.
saying this now, but remember that
You're
one
like the
time you said this.
investigator.
That's why I'm doing this right now, and I'm just communicating.
Yeah.
Okay.
That does not feel
And then
good.
he just is just like, you're gaslighting me. You're gaslighting me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'm not though. I'm just trying to think logically. And then I start to think, am I just I sometimes just wish
Question
someone else
yourself.
was
You're
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
No.
If someone
trust
else
me.
was there to just be like, hey, to validate me or to invalidate me. Because I'm
Yeah.
okay with knowing if I'm wrong. I just like sometimes in those moments
Guys can just
I feel like I'm
record
right.
yourselves
Yeah.
in here
Well,
when you're
there's also
fighting.
like
You're gonna
this
just
whole
like,
thing
Brian,
around
I'm
That's
Reli-
true.
on the
reliability of memory in
Oh, it's so
emotionally activated moments. It's
Yeah.
not reliable. There's like
We like
tons
to
of
think it is,
studies
though.
that will say that, and we've had those
Oh.
moments where it's like Tara's like, because Tara will be like, I know this happened. I'm like, I don't like. It doesn't feel like that's
Yes. Like when they're like
true.
you said it like that though. You gave an attitude. I was like, I don't remember giving you an attitude,
yeah.
but okay.
Tara would be this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Tara would be like, and then you looked at me and you were like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, I have never made that face in my entire life. I am freaking sure, like I have never done that. And she'd
Yeah.
be like, "Well, yes, it is, because you were furious." And I was like,
I've had those moments with Brian too. I'm like, you were really mean. He was like, I was just telling you, like, you know, whatever. I'm
Oh
like,
my-
ugh.
I was
we
like,
have
oh,
him in the
you
middle
were
of we had one in the middle of a podcast a couple weeks ago
Oh
where I
my
was like,
God.
"How do I know if I can like talk when you're talking?" And she's like, "You have ruined this." I was like,
Oh my God.
then I'm like, I'm sorry. I try to like backpedal.
And then we
I'm so
couldn't
sorry.
record.
I did
We
not-
Yeah.
tried to record like a podcast where I'm still
Yeah.
angry at him, and we had to like delete the whole thing because it's not genuine.
but I like, but it was
Yeah.
It's
actually
got
on
to be
tape.
genuine, but we haven't.
And I got to watch. I watched it like a week later, and I was like, Tara, I'm pretty sure I wasn't furious. I watched it.
I
You're like,
want
I
to watch
wasn't
it back
actually-
because it's your body language that's more the
But
furious.
sometimes
of
we
me.
like feel it though because they could be acting calm or just saying whatever they
Oh,
think is the
No,
right
for
thing
sure,
to
for
say.
sure.
Yeah.
But you like when you know your partner and their energy, like even if it's like subtle, we know the energy
Oh,
shifts.
for
Or like,
sure.
oh, like it could be like a little thing they do. I'm like, oh, he's pissed right
yeah,
now.
Exactly.
He's
No,
a-
I'm fine. I'm totally good.
You're like, no, you're not. Like I could feel you. Yeah, that's good.
I feel like we've talked about so much, but like
But that's okay.
in a
It's
good
very-
way. Like that,
yeah.
it felt like it, went together all like spaghetti.
Yeah, because I think it's just. I mean, that's just like where I am in life. I am very all over the place. But like yeah, like I think motherhood is something that it's like I'm not there yet, but it is something to prepare
Yeah.
for. But also like, like I'm not there yet, so I don't have the answers. I need to relax. Okay, and like my
Yeah.
mom even told me, she's like, you're just enjoy pregnancy. And by the way, I'm not even pregnant, so I don't even know
Yeah.
why. So I just need to enjoy the moment,
pre-pregnancy.
just be present.
Enjoy pre-pregnancy.
Yeah, pre-pregnancy. I'm not even engaged. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not there yet. So I
Enjoy
just need,
pre-engagement.
yeah, like I have a spreadsheet started, you know what I
Oh
mean?
my
Like there's a
gosh.
budget that's happening, but so it's just, I need to be in the moment. But it sounds like, our fights tend to like, do have like a healthy moment,
Yeah.
which is good. But sometimes, in the moments I'm just like, are we doing this right? Like, how do you know?
But I
So-
love that because you just being curious and asking the questions, even when you guys do have kids, and how
Yeah.
will we navigate it? Like, just ask, because we didn't. We just thought we're good. We're
Yeah.
rock stars. We're therapists too. Like, we're gonna have the best family ever.
Right.
We can blend this blended family. What? We're not gonna have any issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like that, you're even recognizing, and probably because you do so many interviews and all of the, all
Yeah.
of the research you've done and all the conversations you've had. Like, you have to ask yourself.
I'm
the what
always
ifs.
curious.
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
curiosity, and that's the thing. Couples happen and they stop being curious about each other. They do. They just stop being curious about each other, and they think they know all the ins and out of and then you lose yourself, and then you're just like, EJ sees me as
Yeah.
this nagging, not fun person anymore, and I see him as this avoidant Buddhist mofo, right? Like, that wasn't hot and that wasn't sexy, and I knew he was there, but yeah, we stopped being curious. And again,
Yeah.
I'll just come back to this because you're like, what could we do? Like, curiosity. It's like,
Yeah.
just always be curious, whether you're 8 days into it, 80 years into it. Like,
Yeah.
just be curious about each other, like, because you think you know, but you don't.
And I think one more thing that I am also like really curious to, and I think as like a lot of new moms listen to the show too, is like I know that the transition, like as a woman, of just being like independent, like loving relationship to like now you like are literally milking these kids. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you like that shift as like a woman and like your individual self? Like, was that like a not a transition, but like how did you deal with that transition, of just like being like this new phase of your life,
I didn't even know. Like,
yeah.
Because I knew I was like, I didn't even like when EJ's like, hey, you want to have kids? And I'm like, no. Like, I never even thought about it. My
Wow.
twin wanted a bun in the oven when she was like 18, 19, 20. I was like, And I was 38 when the twins were born. And EJ had already had a vasectomy in our marriage. So he's like, you want me to get a reversal like before our honeymoon? I'm like, yeah, if you want. Like, we can try.
Sure,
Like, so
yeah.
it wasn't even, I never even thought of it because I loved his 2 boys. We had them 50% of the time. They were already 3 and 5. I'd never changed a diaper.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I could do kids. We'll try it out. Like, so I'd never like literally had like 4 weeks to think about it before I got pregnant with the twins after his reverse vasectomy. So for me, I was like, okay, well, now they're growing inside of me and now I can journal and be like all the cool things I want to do. But I didn't know, like when they were born, I'll never forget this. I had a C-section. It was just a brutal like day. And I was like, and they had to take the babies from me to wash, whatever.
It was me. They took Mia to the NICU because she wasn't gaining weight.
And anyway, but I was like, EJ, what is this feeling? What is this feeling? I'm going to die. And he walked me out to like this little open area and he's like, it's love. And I'm like, well, it fucking sucks.
Oh my God.
Fucking powerful.
Yeah.
And I hate it and I love it. And I never knew love. Never. I've never, I mean, I could cry right now. It's this feeling that you just, yeah. And so that changed everything. That was everything. So it's like, you don't even know, you can't even explain it until you see that baby.
Yeah.
And then that changes everything. You would die for them. There is nothing you wouldn't do. Like I had never been that selfless. I was always selfish. Like I just got my 3-bedroom condo and laundry once a week. And now what happened?
Yeah.
So it's just like you'll do anything and everything. And I just knew that I wanted to be the best person that could be. But I would get sad. Like I want to just go to the bathroom by myself.
Do you feel like you like mourn like your old self? I guess that was like the question too.
I mourned.
Still you do.
Yes, I mourned like peace and quiet. The ability to have fun with.
Mourn the freedom. I mean, because
Yeah.
there is something about having kids that is totally different than just getting married. In that, like, you truly can never, ever make a decision again just based upon your own, what you want.
Yeah.
Like, it's just right there in your head of everything I do affects. Every way I react, every choice I make has some effect on these other people. And so you really kind of lay a part of you to bed that never comes up again. You know, like it's just a fundamental shift in individuality.
Yeah.
And the intimacy for me was like, that was like the biggest thing I had to go through. Like, cause I truly felt like, well, I'm just giving all of my energy to keep these babies alive. Like, don't you even think about touching my breast. Don't look at it. It is not yours.
Yeah.
You cannot touch it. You can maybe I had like a clogged milk dug. Clogged milk dug.
God, no, please.
He did. He unclogged it for me because it was so awful. And he's like, it does taste like vanilla. I was like, you can unclog this because they're so painful. And cabbage does not work. Like
wow.
Cystitis.
Oh, gosh. Anyway, but then like years later, we learned how to get through the intimacy piece. But like I was so exhausted from raising these humans. Like the last part of me was like intimacy. Like I lost that whole part of me. And now I'm like, even if we're not like, on a date night or something, I still wear sexy underwear, but I never used to. I just wear like the granny panties, like. But I'm like, no, like I still get to feel sexy now, but I didn't because like I was just so freaking exhausted.
Yeah.
And so that like just that sexual piece, I would say to just like don't lose that. Like you're going that first year, like people don't recognize. Moms are exhausted.
Yeah.
Like there is not a part of you, like not for everybody, but like no.
Yeah.
No. But like then it can change, but we didn't have the skills to deal with that after they were like running around and now I'm not feeding them every hour.
Yeah.
Like we just that like respite from intimacy just stayed. And because we didn't know how to bring it back. And then I got really anxious about it. And then EJ got really anxious about it. So then we were just like, well, then we just won't do it. And then I would get really anxious on date nights. So just like always, even if you're not doing it that first year, intimacy takes a total back burner. And that's totally normal for the first year.
Yeah.
You talk about it. What's it like to not have it? What's it like to be so tired that you don't even want me to look at your boob?
Yeah.
Like we didn't talk. What's it like for you to like have no sex drive anymore, Tara? Like I was the high desire partner in our relationship for the first year and a half. I was constantly like let's go.
Wow.
Let us go. And then I was like, don't even. But we didn't talk about it. And now
when we did, it was really
not
it was
good.
Charged
He felt rejected, that I just wasn't attracted to him anymore. I'm like, no, it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
I'm rejecting my own. I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of misassumptions there and like misreading. So that's like a huge piece. Just talk about it, even if you're not engaging in certain like physical intimacy. Like talk about it. What's it like for you? It's grieving for both partners.
Yeah.
Even in that first year, like you're not going to get it as much. Sorry. Like again, not for everybody, but
right. For the most
sorry.
part. Yeah, especially as a woman, like if you're the one giving birth, your body is changing. Like I feel like I would assume like it would probably feel really uncomfortable for a second. And on top of the fact that like you know, you're exhausted from just being a mom.
Yeah, but you'll hear like, I mean, we see every kind of couple. We see couples that have been together since high school to couples who are in their 80s and they've never talked about feelings. We've seen it all. But a huge thing that we do, so with every couple, we do their relationship timeline. Like when did shit start to get after kids? Because then like if it is, again, like a heterosexual relationship, the men actually has this unconscious jealousy towards the children because the mom is now giving all of their attention, and like it was never talked about it, and then it was just this unconscious dynamic that she cares about them more than me, and like we have to unpack all of that.
Well, and then there's like things that contributed to that,
much.
like because like every time we had an argument, it would be like me and my kids are out of here. I was like, well, where am I? Like, I'm kind of
my kids
a part of this. I'm kind of part of this whole thing too. I think.
You just donated sperm, babe. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I mean, I didn't mean to go back to that because that's a big topic and it's huge. But like, if any new moms are listening to this,
not
like, just
like
find a
intimacy,
way to talk about it.
But just like making you and your partner have to stay connected during that in any way. I mean, we used to just do like things like. Just once the kids would go to bed, go out and have a glass of wine and play like little card games of like ask each other questions. Oh, yeah, even if we were pissed at each other. The book of if, Just to do something that felt like to keep us on life support, you know? I mean, that you have to do something to keep your connection. Because if you don't have that, then you're just like literally like workmates. And like roommates, splitting the chores up and splitting the kids up and keeping something special and curious with one another.
So simple, but so hard to do sometimes. I can imagine.
Your relationship is like the easiest thing to take for granted. Yeah. Early on and after kids, it's just like everything else is a priority. We got to make money. You know, we got to deal with your parents and my parents. We got to deal with these kids. And it's just like, we'll be fine. We'll like reconnect in like a decade and a half. We'll like, when they're 15, we'll like hook up again. It'll be nice.
Yeah. When they're 15 is crazy. Oh, I love that. I feel like.
Not to scare anybody out there. Okay.
Like, marriage is great. Parenthood is great. No, it is. I feel like just talking to you guys are like so positive and like comforting about it. And so like, I just feel like really good about. You know, it put my anxiety at ease. It's just like, okay, like, you know, like people.
It's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And normalizing that it'll be hard and that's okay.
Exactly. Like, I love that you guys are not like, oh, yeah, everything is going to be okay. Or like, or try to paint a perfect kind of picture towards that. Like, I like that you guys are, you know, very open and authentic about that experience.
It's okay if it's a shit show.
Yeah. That she acts crazy and you're avoiding, you know, it's fine. Yeah. Well, I love that. Well, where can people find you guys, listen to the podcast, or even, I mean, book you as therapists?
I know.
Yeah, podcasts. I mean, just relationship renovation podcast.
Our website kind of has it all, relationshiprenovation.com. It has our podcast, it has our coaching, it has our counseling center. We have this is kind of new and it's just starting, but we've, ever since the pandemic hit, we did this online program for couples. So they download it, but now we're doing like a podcast membership where they can be a part of this membership. And we have monthly live Q&As and they go through the entire model we created at our office in home.
Oh, nice.
So it's for couples that are just really wanting to build the skills that are not in crisis yet. Hear that.
Yeah.
If you are in crisis or you're having some difficulty navigating something big, I mean, we see a ton of couples with infidelity and you name it. Always seek out a therapist, a good couples therapist. It's so important.
Yeah.
That therapist
And we take
specializes in couples. Let me just say that again.
Yeah.
We take on a small handful of couples that we privately coach, the two of us.
But we're trying to get it out there. We're trying to make it more affordable because couples counseling is expensive. That's why we're doing
Therapy's too expensive.
Yeah.
Literally.
Growth therapy. I was like, how can we freaking provide something that would feel really great for we have listeners from Australia to and they're like, they can't. And so we're like, how can we do this in a way that feels good for everybody? And it's just the skills needed and to normalize that you're okay. And even if you and your partner don't make it through together, how can you find a way to build compassion in the shitty time you're going through so that if you do have a family, you can model, again, trying to be your best self in shitty times.
Because I feel like being parents is more of a commitment than marriage.
True.
Because it's you have that kid versus.
linked.
And they're watching you.
You would think you said?
They watch
you are linked.
everything you do.
Yeah. The kids link you way more than the marriage does.
Yep, exactly.
And they call you out. Even with my family this week, Mia's like, Mom, you're the one that said, she said, oh my gosh, I have to tell you guys this funny story. We went to the chocolate store at the mall.
Yeah.
She got these chocolate balls. She's like, these balls are small. That's what she said. And I was like, Shelly goes, what did she just say?
Because you're the queen of that's
Wait.
what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
And I tried to blame it on you, EJ. I was like, EJ watches The Office, and Steve Carell was like, that's what she said. And Mia's like, no, Mom, you're the one that always says it. That's what she said.
Oh my God.
And I said, I know, Shelly, it is. It's me. But they call you out. So just know they listen and
they're
they
gonna
call you out.
I mean, I roast my parents, so I feel like I'm gonna get it ultimately. So it's fine.
Oh my gosh.
Well then, wait. So you plugged everything. Did you want to plug anything else? You good? Or you mean collectively?
So
it's the same thing.
Patreon community, and then we take on coaching at relationshiprenovation.com. People can reach out.
Oh yeah, our email.
Perfect. I love that. And you guys, y'all know what it is. Follow me, Stefanie Maegan, or go to BrokeLtherapy.com. All that shit is there. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Broke Girl Therapy.